What's up, it's you? For today's video, we're full Iron Fist ability team. Now, Iron Fist boosts the power of punching moves by 20%, and it actually doesn't include Sucker Punch, which is kind of interesting. If you people want to check me out on Twitch, make sure you do. This is where I do all my theme teams, live Pokemon sweeps, all my Pokemon content, shiny hunting, other games. Check it out, link in the description if you're not following already. Now, Iron Fist has a lot of moves it actually includes, and there's a couple of really interesting trivia things in there I want to talk about. I'll do that during the video because there's quite a few to list. Now, today's battles, we got 3 of them, and they were some pretty interesting battles to say the least. Now, I had this really cool set that I wanted to use with Pangoro, so basically I led off with it nearly every single battle. Now, you could be wondering why I've got 5 Pokemon here. There was only 5 fully evolved Pokemon that actually got Iron Fist ability. You know, they're actually included in the game. There's more Pokemon, but obviously they're not in the game yet, so I couldn't include them. So I just used the, one of each evolution line. So we got a Crocodile lead here. It's going to be setting up the Stealth Rocks, which is a little bit of a pain, not too much of a pain though. None of my Pokemon are seriously weak to that. I'm going to be setting up a Substitute. Now, on this Pangoro set, we're going to be making use of Focus Punch. Now, Focus Punch is a fairly hard move to pull off because essentially you have to tighten your focus, and if your focus gets broken, basically when you get hit by a move, it doesn't work. So what I'm thinking about doing right is essentially getting Pangoro to keep using the move over and over again, and even if I don't have Substitute up, I might be able to pull this off right. So I thought, let's go with this really scummy, funny set here with double teams. So I could go for a couple of double teams, right? And once I got enough, like, evasiveness up, I could then start spamming Focus Punch and keep spamming it over and over again. Now, obviously, it's got its counters. Moves can still hit me, and there's Dynamax Pokemon that can still get around me too. I thought it was just a really silly, funny set to run. Now, I'd Sword Dance on there as well if I was really confident that I had enough, like, evasion boost up to actually get that off. But most of the time, I wasn't even able to do that, right? So here we're going to be going for a Focus Punch here, hoping that Crocodile actually misses here. And it's going to be going for a Smackdown instead. Now, Smackdown obviously is not very effective, but it is 100% actually compared to High Horsepower, which is 95%. So I'm assuming that's why they're doing it. They didn't want to take the risk. So I had really no option here. I had to keep going for Focus Punch and hoping that my Focus Punch would, land on the Crocodile. The High Horsepower is going to miss, which is absolutely amazing. And now Pangoro is going to go like the One Punch Man, and Kruki is going to be going down in one shot. That was some real big power there, people. Now, interesting, I want to talk about a little bit of trivia here. Now, Meteor Mash actually gets a boost from Iron Fist, as does Plasma Fist, right? So it doesn't need to have the move Punch after it. And also, like, moves like Ice Hammer and Hammer Up. Now, interestingly enough, with Plasma Fist and Meteor Mash, there are no Pokemon that currently have Iron Fist and Meteor Mash and Plasma Fist, right? So those moves, even though they get the boost, there's no one that actually has that ability. So it's... maybe in the future someone will get that right. I mean, you could definitely still do it if you did actually swap the abilities of your Pokemon around. Sure, you could make use of those moves, but if you didn't do any of that, none of them actually get that ability and that move at the same time. A little bit of interesting trivia there for you. Anyway, I'm going to be squashing a bunny with a big old hammer arm from Conkel there, and a bunny is not going to be liking that one. I think I went for maybe a Klutz Acrobatics there, and it did very minimal damage to Conkel there. Now, the EVs, I didn't say my EVs were on Pangoro either. Max Health, Max Attack, and same with Colcoda. So we got Mac Punch, Hammer Arm, Fire Punch, and Mega Punch here. So Hammer Arm was obviously just hit really hard, and then Mac Punch was sort of like to clean up the opponent if they managed to live right. So go for Mac Punch on the Lucario, and it just bodies it in one shot, and the Lucario actually turned out to be a Zoroark, so I don't know about that. Was a very risky sort of swapping with the Zoroark, or illusion with the Zoroark, because they're both weak to fighting, right? I'd say Lucario may have had a smaller chance of actually, just a smaller chance of actually leaving that one. Anyway, so we're going very well at the moment. Conkelda and Pangoro have gone through a lot of, well, let's say Conkelda's gone through a lot of this team, and we got the Gardevoir coming in. And now, obviously, a lot of my Pokemon were weak to Fairy type moves, with the Iron Fist ability. Usually, a lot of fighting type Pokemon had that, right? So Gardevoir's going to go for a Moonblast, and Conkeldurr, well, Conkeldurr is going to get sent to the moon after that. There's nothing I could have done. I could not have swapped into any of my others. So I've got 3 more Pokemon left, right? We're going to be going into Golok here. Now, Golok's a really cool Pokemon, and it's got a move called Shadow Punch. And Shadow Punch is hardly ever used at all. It's got really low base power as well, and we just don't really have any super amazing physical ghost moves outside of that. And unfortunately, Moonblast is going to take my Golok out too. There was a lot of one-hit KOs in this battle, right? So my next Pokemon is Melmetal, and this Melmetal, probably Melmetal is the best Pokemon on my team, to say the least. Like, probably conk out on Melmetal, right? They were definitely the best. So we got Double Iron Bash, which gets a boost from that, Dynamic Punch, and Thunder Punch. So all the attacking moves on this team, right, were boosted by Iron Fist. I'll just say that now. I did have some status moves, sure, but all the moves I used to attack were all boosted by the Iron Fist ability. I'll just say that once again. So I got a quick little activation, which is absolutely amazing. I'm going to be going, I was thinking about going for the double Iron Bash here just to take out this Gardevoir, and then Gardevoir a Dynamax. So I was like, okay, that's fine. If even if it Dynamaxes, man, double Iron Bash is going to do heaps of damage coming from, you know, Melmetal. So this is Max Health and Adamant Nature. The first double Iron Bash almost takes it out, since it hits twice, and Gardevoir is going to go down. So I was very, very thankful, you know, that I was actually able to not only outspeed the Gardevoir, but take it out at the same time, which is awesome. Okay, anyway, wait, I'm just looking at Melmetal, right? That little ball inside the nut. Don't take that the wrong way, by the way. How is it even staying there? Like, is it just floating in there? I'm not sure. So the next Pokemon we got, just something to wonder about, guys. How was the ball floating inside the nut? So we got Slazzle coming out here, right? Now, I can go for Thunder Punch or Mega Punch. The other one's a little bit shaky. I could go for Dynamic Punch, but since it's only 50% accuracy, I may not even hit, and that could be very, very risky. So I just went for the Mega Punch there, and we got Slazzle go for Fire Blast, and Melmetal gets absolutely destroyed there. Nothing I can do, even with max health. It's going to go down. I always loved its fainting animation. It actually gets melted. In that case, it was perfect because of the Fire-type move, right? So my last Pokemon is the Hitmon Champ. Now, this is a set. Well, I have a similar set to this one. It works very, very nice. Right? It's my bulky Hitmonchan with the Salt Vest. So we got Power Punch, Drain Punch, which works really, really well. And I've got Ice Punch and Thunder Punch too. Usually I sort of tweak those last two moves. I normally keep Ice Punch on there. And maybe not Thunder Punch, but usually I have those first three moves all the time. Now, the EVs are very interesting. It's very, very bulky built. It's max health and max defense with a Salt Vest, and I just boost my attack up with a Power-Up Punch, right? Which is really nice. So we got Hitmonchan. Basically, Hitmonchan, I guess you could say, is like a signature Iron Fist Pokemon, because it's literally got like boxing gloves on too. Now, I had an interesting question on stream. I want you people in the comment section to comment on this one too, so it's very interesting. Do you think Hitmonchan has hands underneath its gloves? Or is it like Machamp where the jocks are like, you know, fused to its body? Is its gloves fused to its body? I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Is there actually hands behind those big blue gloves? I'm not sure. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Just something to wonder about, you know? So we got the Slazzle here. I've got Max Lightning. That's my best attack to use against it. Remember, I don't have any attack EVs too, so that's why Slazzle took my attack so well. So we're going to be going for a second one here. Obviously, I've got the Max Lightning on the field, and Electric Terrain is going to boost the power of the next one in case I got min damage next turn, so that is going to go down. Now, the last Pokemon is Lucario. We did see the Lucario earlier on, but it was disguised. Zorite was hiding in there. It's not an oddish, guys. So I can go for any fighting type move, and I know Hitmonchan will be able to take Lucario out like super easy. Now, the thing about this is one, does it have a priority move to outspeed me? It may not even need one because I'm not running any speed. And two, does it have a focus dash, right? So I've got Max Knuckle, and I've got Max Knuckle. I'm just going to go for the Drain Punch one because it's got more base power. Lucario's going to go for extreme speed. It is going to do monkeys because I've got max health and max defense. And now it's shown its item, which is a Life Orb. I can go for a Max Knuckle, and I can finish off the Lucario. And that, my friends, is the first battle. Really, really interesting that, but a lot of one-hit KOs when you look back on the battle. Especially at the start, it's like boom, boom, like either side. It's like a really, really fast battle. Thank you, Aliana, for the first battle, and let's get on to the second game. This one was kind of interesting as well. So the second battle we have is against Felicia. Hope I said that one right. And once again, I was really excited to get this Pangoro set to run well. Like literally every time I use it, I was like, guys, I want to get this Pangoro set to work. I actually really want to do a sweep with this Pangoro, right? With, maybe I could, instead of using, I could use Iron Fist, or I could use Scrappy, right? I'm thinking about, like a strategy with this, right? So we're going to be going for a double team the first turn, getting my evasion up, liquidation's going to be, so great little start there. The problem about this matchup is it is going to be able to resist me. Like, Arachnoid's going to be able to resist that easy, and I'm definitely going to need a couple of focus punches to, like, even do anything. So the second liquidation is going to miss. So after the second miss, I think they got a little bit fed up with missing there, and I basically forced them to Dynamax. This is the problem with this set, right? You can get those evasive boosts up, but the next person can, well, the next Pokemon that comes in, or that Pokemon can just go Dynamax and land hit against you anyway. So I would suggest if you're ever going to go for any evasion strategies, use them after the Dynamax is done, right? Same with sort of like Z-moves in Gen 7, right? You could easily get around to the evasion with them. But yeah, I'd try this one after the Dynamax. I have to keep that in mind. If I am going to try and go for this Pokemon sweep on the side of all my other ones. Anyway, so Pangora's going to live on 1 health. I mean, it did nothing in this battle, but it did plug my merch, people. It's below the video. You know where to get it. And thank you to everyone that got some. But Pangora's just going to plug my merch for me, and that's pretty much all it's going to be able to do. It can actually go for a focus punch here. I mean, it actually did something else and plug my merch. It actually allowed me to stall out Dynamax for 1 extra turn, which is I thought was pretty amazing, right? So I'm going to hit by a couple of butterflies, and Pangora is going to go down. I'm just trying to imagine this in real life, a panda fainting to a flock of butterflies. So my next Pokemon is Melmetal here. Now, Melmetal, actually kind of thinking about Dynamaxing here because this Pokemon's actually a big threat. I could go for a Max Lightning. I know that Max Lightning won't take it out, but it does shoot some, like, I reckon about a 2-hit KO against it too. So go for the Dynamax Melmetal. This is another question too that I'm thinking on my feed here, right? I'm actually not on my feet, I'm sitting down. I'm not sure why that's the same, because you could be sitting down, but you could be thinking on your feet too. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So regardless, right, when are we going to get G-Max Melmetal? It's been a while. Are we going to get in Crown Tundra, or is it going to be one of these Pokemon we just never get, like Az's Floaty, you know, like one of those ones? Like, hopefully not. I really don't think so. It gets like super like skinny kind of like I find that interesting too. It's like a G-Max. It's really tanky, but then a G-Max, it gets like really, really skinny. So anyway, back to the battle here. We got this Arachnid. I'm going to be hitting with a Max Lightning, right? Now, I thought this was really good to get the electric terrain up on the field, right? But then it had a weakness policy. I'm like, oh no, here we go again. Now, I guess the only good thing about this is it was its last turn of Dynamax, so now it's not going to get the power of its initial move. That's going to have to go for a liquidation, right? And I'm in Dynamax too, so I've got an advantage. I've got a lot of defense. I've got a lot of extra buff and health, but I have taken a fair bit of damage. So we got the liquidation here. Melmetal just managed to lift that, which is great. Oh man, if I fainted, then I would have been in heaps and heaps of trouble. And now Melmetal is going to go for the Max Lightning and take out the bubbles. Man, that's such a good ability, Water Bubble. It's crazy. Like, I think I did it was a Mega Pokemon sweep, right, before this gen came out. I swear I did a Mega Bubble strategy on another Pokemon. It's like really, really strong. I can't remember. I'm going to look that up afterwards. I mean, the real hardcore PIMPNITE fan would know that Mega Pokemon sweep that I did. But anyway, so we got the Gyarados coming in here with a Scale Shot. Scale Shot's not going to do a lot. However, it is managing to hit me 3 times, and Melmetal is going to go down. Now, Scale Shot and Gyarados is kind of clever because what you can do, say, it's sort of a bit like Fell Stinger, right? Say if you took them out, you get your speed boost, right? You do drop your defensive stats, but you get a speed boost and you get a Moxie boost if you're running a Moxie one. So they got +1 in speed and Moxie at the same time. So this is a really, really big threat, though. I had to definitely take this one out too. So we got the Hitmonchan here. I was running a very bulky set here, so I'm like, okay, I know that I could probably take 1 move for this Gyarados. If I get flinched by Waterfall, that could be bad. So I went for Thunder Punch, and we got another Scale Shot here from the Gyarados. It's got 1 hit there. We got 2 hits there. And we got 3 hits here on my Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan's going to live that one. And obviously, it's going to be you know what? I could have used Thunder Shock Hitmonchan, and this could have taken out the Gyarados at this stage. So go for the Thunder Punch under the electric terrain and all those defense drops. Gyarados' entire family tree is going to get demolished. So we've got a couple more Pokemon left here. I've got a Blastoise. So like, okay, Blastoise. And that you may be able to see a little pattern to their team as well. They're running a split and theme team. Now, this really, really sucks. Since I was so bulky with the Assault Vest, I actually get burned by a Scald, and that Thunder Punch definitely would have I'd say it would have taken Blastoise out. I got very, very close. That burn pretty much, you know, messed me up there. I tanked the Scald really well due to the like an Assault Vest too, which was great. But I just got burned here. I could have even gone for Drain Punch there as well and got a little bit of extra health sustain back. Now, Blastoise is going to outspeed me because I'm running a very slow Hitmonchan set, and that is going to go down. So that was really, really bad. They're getting that burn. I would have been really grateful if I didn't get burned there, but that's how it goes with Scald sometimes. So last battle, Golok didn't actually get to do much at all, and I'm thinking, Well, I think Golok can live a skull really badly. I'm going to roll those dice and go for a rock polish here, right? Now, the item I've got on this Golok is actually weakness policy. I thought, well, I got a weakness policy early on. I mean, I'm not going to get it in Dynamax, but I'm still going to have a chance of doing some pretty good damage, right? So getting that weakness policy only just there, and I don't get burned, which is great, and now I can go for the rock polish. This was max speed and max attack Golok. Golok looks really, really fresh, shiny, especially if he Dynamax too. Looks like really cool. So go for the Shadow Punch there, and that is enough to take out the Blastoise, which is nice. Shadow Punch doesn't have a great base power either. It's only like 60 base power, which is like, you know, it's really weak. I wish it was something like maybe 80 or 90. I mean, we do have Shadow Claw, right? We got Shadow Claw, Shadow Punch, Phantom Force. I mean, there's actually kind of lacking of abilities there. So Golok fails to take out the Vaporeon, and I go down to Rocky Helmet damage, and it gets an Acid Armor up. I'm like, man, it's just one of these days today. So Conkeldurr's going to come in here. We got the Vaporeon go for the Whirlpool, and it's going to be trapping me in, right? So I got to take this out because I know this is going to have like Wish or something like that, right? So go for Hammer Arm, and Blue is going to live on 1 health again. Man, we had a couple of 1 health lives in this battle so far. I'm going to get some more Rocky Helmet damage. But I do have the Mach Punch to finish off Vaporeon before it tries to heal itself. I mean, even if it went for Wish here, it was probably going to be going down, right? So go for Mach Punch again. I just want to get rid of this Vaporeon, right? If it had Rest, that would have been really bad too. So I didn't want to take that chance whatsoever. So Vaporeon's down. The next Pokemon is the Lapras. I was like, okay, Lapras. I can hit this with a Hammer Arm and a Mach Punch. That'll be more than enough to dispose of Lapras. Even if it's very bulky on the defensive side, it is most definitely going down. So go for the Hammer Up there, and then it's going to go for a Parry Song. I'm like, oh no. I have to take this Lapras out because they've got one more Pokemon left. So I've got to take this Pokemon out, and then the next one, Hammer Arm misses. Oh man, that really, really sucked there. So that's one turn of Parry Song already down. So I went for Hammer Arm again, is my best bet here. I thought they actually may swap out, but they didn't. So they went for another Whirlpool there, and that does a little bit of damage. Conkeldurr's going to get trapped. I'm going to go for a Hammer Arm here on the Lapras, and Lapras is going to go down in one shot to Hammer Arm. That was a pretty powerful move right there. I'm going to drop my speed, but it doesn't matter. I still have Mach Punch to do some pretty good damage, right? So down goes the Lapras. I did take some unnecessary damage there from Whirlpool, but, you know, that's how it is. So the last Pokemon is the Inteleon. Now I'm thinking, okay, I've got Mach Punch. But even with Mach Punch on Iron Fist, I'm probably going to need a crit to take it out. Even then, it'll be very doubtful. Unfortunately, Talent is going to be living that one and firing off a little snipe shot at my Conkeldurr, and it's going to crit me too. And that is the second battle. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to clutch back there with the Conkeldurr, but I was very happy with how my team went there. We actually were down one Pokemon too, so GG's all round there. I think just looking back, I think that the burn on my Hitmonchan really cost me there too. I'd say that was probably one of the most cost-worthy things, you know, in that battle. So the next battle, or the third and final battle, this one was against Mike, and we got another Blastoise. I'm like, oh, not Blastoise again. So this one's a shiny Blastoise this time. So my first Pokemon was Pangoro, right? I was desperate to get another Focus. I was desperate to get those Focus Punch Ks. So Blastoise, right, is going to go Shell Smash on the first go. I'm like, okay. I really wish I went for Focus Punch then, but that's how it was, right? So it's going to boost up its stats. It is going to get a little bit weaker there. I was wondering if it's got the White Herb on there, and it does. I'm like, man, bugger. I wish it didn't have White Herb, but, you know, mostly all the time that it will, right? So going for Double Team there, boosting my evasiveness a little bit. Now I'm thinking, okay, this thing has to be stopped, so I better attack it right now. So go for the Focus Punch. Focus Punch does have that priority, right? And Aqua Tail, it's a physical set, is going to miss. I'm like, man, this is so good. Going for that big old Focus Punch there on the Blastoise, and Blastoise just lives again. Oh man, it's one of those days. Another 1 health left, and now it's going to spank me with its little blue tail, and I'm going to get another double team up. So here I was hoping, right, I could get like I only needed one miss. That's all I needed, then Blastoise would go down. Now, Blastoise, instead of going for a 90 accuracy Aqua Tail, is going to go for 100% accuracy Earthquake and take out my Pangoro. Sort of like the battle before when they were going for Smackdown. They just wanted to take some damage off and get to, right? So, unfortunately, Pangoro is going to fail. I went for Mach Punch just to clean up the Blastoise, and that's all good. But Pangoro got slow close there, but it was so close. It actually, there was, in all of the battles that I did, it never got like a KO where it didn't get KO'd. I think the first battle was the very closest one that it got, but then Rocky Helmet took it out. So we got Pelipper coming in. Pelipper is such a huge threat to my team. It's going to be going for an Air Slash instead of Hurricane, and I actually I took that pretty well. So go for the Mega Punch this time. It does pretty good damage to Pelipper. Pelipper's going to go for a second Air Slash and take out my Conkeldurr. There's nothing I could have done there. Like, Man, I'm just thinking of all the Pokemon I've got on my team. The only one that could possibly do something here would be Melmetal. I know that I can take a Scald, a Hydro Pump, all those sort of moves, and I know that I can just, one-shot it back with the Thunder Punch, right? So it's going to go for a Hydro Pump in the rain. I knew this would really hurt, but I knew that I would live. And it crits me. I'm like, no, that was such a huge crit there, because the rest, the rest of my team, right? You know what they are. So my next Pokemon is Hitmonchan. We're starting to get dire straits here, people. I can go for a Thunder Punch, and I know that'll take it out. I know that I can take an Air Slash with Assault Vest. However, Pelipper's going to swap out. Now, Lucario is going to come in here, and this time, people, it wasn't a Zoroark. It's like deja vu at the moment, and they're going to paralyze on Lucario. It's like, okay, that's pretty nice. So this is the opportunity. I went for a Power Punch here. Doesn't take Lucario out, but it does boost my attack, which I was quite thankful for. Then I can either go for another Power Punch or like a Drain Punch to get my health back right. So Lucario is going to have a berry there, being the Agway berry, and it's going to go for a Meteor Mash. Now, Meteor Mash is boosted by Iron Fist ability, which is cool. Unfortunately, the Lucario doesn't have Iron Fist, so I'd say with Iron Fist, that would have done almost take him out there, right? So go for another Power Punch. It did actually contemplate to go for a Drain Punch. I was like, nah, I'll just get that extra boosted attack. That way I might be able to, maybe Dynamax my Hitmonchan, right? So the next Pokemon is the Alakazam, and Alakazam, once again, a very, very big problem Pokemon now that, Melmetal's gone and Pangora's gone, of course. I think that, I reckon that Focus Punch would almost take out Alakazam, even like just with its frail defense. Even though it's not very effective, I reckon do some pretty solid damage with Adamant Nature. So Alakazam's going to set up a Calm Mind, but it's going to get one-shot. There's no way I could set up in front of my Hitmonchan. The next Pokemon is the Pelipper. I think they were running only 4 Pokemon on this team as well. It was like 5v4, so they only brought 4 along. I think they had 2 other legendary Pokemon, which they didn't choose to bring along. Then again, they had this Pelipper, and that was like more than enough to, shake up my team. So their last Pokemon here they're going to be Dynamaxing is their Pelipper. We've seen Pelipper before. It got that big critical hit on my Melmetal, and I was very scared of this thing. Like, I had nothing to even do against this, right? So we got one big Pelipper. Man, look at the size of that beak, right? Like, Hitmonchan can literally fit inside of its beak right now. So it's going to go for their max airstream, and Hitmonchan is not going to be able to live that one, sadly. That's really, really unfortunate because I could have gone for a +2 Thunder Punch, and that would have easily dropped Pelipper. Like, no questions asked there at all. So my last Pokemon is the Golok. Now, I haven't Dynamaxed a Pokemon yet. I thought about Dynamaxing my Hitmonchan there a little bit earlier, but since I sustained such a big amount of damage, I was like, it probably won't even matter. I'd rather have Golok. It's going to be fresh off the bat with a full amount of health, and I should, there's a chance I might be able to live this water type move and then go for my own attacking move, right? So Golok, I've got on this one, the Rock Polish set, the Weakness Policy. I was hoping it would actually activate Weakness Policy, and then that attack would be enough to take it out. So first things first, just in case that didn't happen, I went for a Max Guard. They went for a Max Hailstorm. Now, I was like, oh no, that would have been much better because that wouldn't be stabbed right. Now, their second move is going to be a water type move, and that is going to be enough to take my Golok out in one shot. Man, I didn't know they use an ice type move on the first one. There was no way I would have known that. But that one is the game, and definitely that Melmetal crit cost me that game, especially against the Pelipper. And I hope you people enjoyed all 3 of these battles. It was a very, very fun team to run, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another one. Peace.